All right, my beautiful friends, it is Monday, August 19, 2019, and let me tell you, and I mean it this time I mean it. We have to talk. An incredible amount of information came out over this weekend. I want to recap a few things so you can understand again where we are going and what's about to happen. Seriously, it's huge. Let's start off with this. Not one of you that has watched my last few videos is surprised at what you're seeing here on Wall Street. There is a full-blown rally on Wall Street. Stocks are higher across the board. Dow Jones Industrial Average over 300 points. The yield curve continues to normalize. And I covered why this is occurring. As a matter of fact, let's just recap real quick. Again, this will give us a picture, a big picture, as to what's coming down the pike. And it's going to get a lot bigger. I don't know the words for it. Let's talk about that. So Wednesday, stocks fall 800 points. That same day, the president called the same 6 banks that run the Fed. It's no secret who runs the Fed. We all know who it is. It's an incredible thing. And this is the same 6 banks that Mnuchin talked to in December to boost the stock market. So Wednesday, the president calls the same 6 banks that run the Fed. Thursday evening, a rumor gets floated out that the Fed is going to start stimulating the economy, stimulating the market with more easy money. Friday, stocks vault 300 points higher. Friday evening, no fanfare, we find out that the president made more concessions to China the second time in 7 days. A whole bunch, multiples of Chinese products are now not going to be hit with tariffs. And I explained to you that we just lost the trade war and the stock market was going to love it. These several events that just happened beginning on Wednesday was enough to push the stock market higher. And I outlined it all for you in the video I did on Saturday. So again, no surprise to any of you. And this is the way it's going to go. It's completely rigged, corrupt. The highest office in the United States is playing a terrible game. It's insider trading. It's a crime in progress. Anyone that tries to deny that is absolutely deluded and probably needs to up their medication or something along those lines. Let's talk about this too, these developments that are just unfolding. So over the weekend, again, Peter Navarro, this is the guy that's really pulling the strings with regard to the president's calls for extreme rate cuts, for the president's calls for more easy money into the market. It's him. It's Peter Navarro. The proof is everywhere. Look at the articles that are put out about this guy, on this guy, what he says, and then listen to the president parrot it. So it's Peter Navarro. So this is what happened over the weekend. Peter Navarro said it is a certainty, his words, certainty, that stocks will rally through 2020. Well, again, of course it's a certainty. If the administration is in bed with the same 6 banks that run the Fed, and again, injecting confidence into this market, stripping out the fear. With the fear being removed from the market, you get a normalizing yield curve. This is much greater than any amount of rate cuts, which I told you won't work. I think someone up there realized it. When I explained to you that the president could have the Fed cut rates any amount, it will not matter. Because the market runs on confidence, and cutting rates really isn't a confidence booster for the market. It kind of is demonstrating to the market, hey, we're in trouble. We need lower rates to boost the economy, and then calls for easy money, quantitative easing, that's another kind of knife's edge here for the market. The market must be reassured that whatever happens, stocks will go higher. So again, Navarro is saying that it's a certainty that stocks will go higher. I think we should take him at his word because he understands what's going on. He knows what the president did on Wednesday. He understands the fakery that's occurring here, the rumors that are being floated out that the Fed's going to stimulate with more easy money, for which they are. Massive debt expansion. I want to talk about that in a second as well, being that this is the title of this video. The fact that we 2 times in 1 week gave concessions to China with regard to tariffs. Now let's talk about that. How many of you have heard this? As Apple goes, so goes the market. This is a Wall Street mantra. It's the truth. Apple's market cap is so large that it's really the truth. Where Apple goes, so goes the market. As I am doing this video blog, Apple is up nearly 3%. Now, why would you believe that is happening? All right, now again, I'm going to ask you to do your own work on this, and I am not placing a link in the description of this video. I already posted it on my social networks. Look it up for yourself. It appears that all the talk about, bring production back to America, then you won't have to pay tariffs. Well, that kind of went out the window with Apple. The president said that Apple may be tariff exempt. And again, this is an effort to prop up the stock market. Of course, this is going to happen, and this is why Apple is up 3% almost 3% as I am doing this video blog. The president had a nice sit down with the CEO of Apple. They had a talk about it, and now this morning he comes out and says, well, I'm thinking about making Apple tariff exempt because it's hurting their ability to compete. I mean, really, what happened, Mr. President, to having these companies bring their production back to the United States? Did you forget all of that? Seems so. All right, look. So all of these things that I just laid out for you, before it even happened, okay, we're talking over the weekend, is massively stock market positive, sucking out the uncertainty out of the market, sucking out the fear. Now, here's the deal. I had explained to you, I don't know, a month ago that we were going to see world central banks go nuclear. Well, that's exactly what did happen. A series of world central banks, surprisingly, because the market was surprised about it, the commentators on the mainstream channels were all shocked that the Federal Reserve and every other, well, not every, but a series of central banks did the same thing, cutting rates. And this is just the beginning. Now, this is where it really gets interesting. The president is now calling, are you ready for this? Sit down, and again, don't take my word for it. Look it up for yourself. The president is calling for 50 and 100-year bonds. You can't make it up. Let's see. Let's buy a 100-year bond, and maybe after you're dead, someone else can benefit from it, or even a 50-year. It's too stupid. So this is an example here in our face of massive debt expansion like you cannot possibly believe. They're doing anything in their power right now, the Trump administration right now, along with every other world leader and their central bank, to keep the bubble inflated. And again, here in the United States, it's a game of the stock market. Again, colluding, direct collusion. No one can deny this, and if you do, you got to have your head examined, honestly. A sitting president doesn't call the same 6 banks that run the Fed for fun. And then the next evening, a story gets floated out that more easy money is coming. Don't happen, okay? If you believe it does, there's something seriously wrong with you. Ask anybody who follows this blog, and they're going to tell you the same thing. You don't get 2 concessions in 1 week with regard to the tariffs. And did you hear about this one? Here's the new spin. You really should sit down for this one. The president is saying, I am not ready to make a deal with China. In other words, he's insinuating that China is ready. Oh, absolutely not. So the president makes concessions twice in 1 week, pushes off tariffs, makes a whole multiple, I can't stop laughing, of products exempt from the tariffs. China offers no concessions and is still threatening to retaliate. And the president says, duh, I'm not ready to make a deal with China. See how he has to spin it? The lies here, people, this is incredible. It's beyond belief. And you want to laugh even further? Peter Navarro over the weekend said, oh, the yield curve didn't invert. I'm going to let you think about that. The yield curve did not invert. Peter Navarro, let's see, it was reported on every single financial channel I talked about, and anyone with eyeballs, because I've shown snapshots of this, can see the yield curve did invert. So, Mr. Navarro, you know what? We're not as stupid as you think we are, or your boss. In fact, we're laughing at the both of you, laughing at the top of our lungs like you can't believe, because you're both imbeciles and fraudsters of the highest order. With that said, people, anyway, think about what I talked about in this video. It's pretty epic. It's truly epic. Please share it. Get it out there. Let's see how this market plays out. And for my Lions, you know exactly what to do here. Pick your spots and shred the living crap out of this market. I sincerely hope you're using the quant system. It's completely free for you right on my website. I mean, it's right there. There's no sign-ups. There's no nothing. It's there. Utilize it. It's extremely powerful. I don't know another way to put it. I love you a lot. See you at the end of the day. Again, please share this video.